again, queue up. We've got several questions already queued up in the chat. All right, those of you on the Zoom, let's go ahead. We'll open up for questions. We'll start it off today. Kedrick will be lead off. Jim Cotter on deck. Go ahead, Kedrick.
Hey, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you now, Kedrick. Go
Okay.
ahead.
Hey, Ayo, obviously you guys are preseason ranked 8th in the country, and this is kind of new territory for you guys. Can you kind of talk to us a little bit about playing with the mark on your back and what you guys have to do to bring it every night and what teams are going to be looking to take away from you guys?
Yeah, this is a great example. First I want to give credit to Ohio, great team, well-coached team. But this is going to be like the whole season. Every time we play a game, we're going to get everyone's best shot. It's going to be everyone's championship game. They were revved up, they had lots of energy. They just got up for this game, and where we place, where we rank that, it just comes with territory. We have to continue to play hard. We won by 2, but we're not putting our head down because, like I said, Ohio is a well-coached team, veteran players, have a really good guard, really good forward man. They play well. So this is what college basketball is about. Especially with no fans, it's basically like it's no home court advantage. So everyone just playing with the same, like on a neutral site, and it gives teams. It doesn't give no edge, and they proved it tonight. But we found a way to win. Winners find a way to win, and we're glad to get a W.
Okay. So next question for Da'Monte. Coach, this was your first double-double of your Illini basketball career. Each game you seem to be getting better and better, more comfortable with your role. Can you talk to us a little bit about, how you developed this and your confidence now that you're able to knock down shots and defend the way you are?
Just going out there and giving it my all and putting my team in the best position so we can win. I feel like that was the biggest thing for me, just locking in even more on defense and knocking down shots.
Thank you.
Okay, Jim Cotter, you're up. Scott Ritchie on deck.
This question's for Ayo. Ayo, I know that this was a tough game. That Ohio played you guys tough all the way through. This probably is a good prerequisite for the games that coming up next week. A couple of top 10 teams as well. Just talk a little bit about what this game prepared you for those 2 games next week.
It definitely gives us, our coaching staff, a great piece of film to watch, study over, make adjustments. They played us well. They showed a lot of things that we need to get better at. So definitely, I like to say this is a blessing in disguise because you really don't want to be winning by 40, 30, and then when you play a good team, when you face adversity, sometimes our teams lose. So I'm glad that, this group of guys, we faced our first piece of adversity, and we found ways to win. Veteran players made plays down the stretch. And now it's getting us prepared. Now the younger guys, they understand how a high major basketball game is against a really good team. And we excited. Baylor's next. And we're going to just try to prepare, watch film tomorrow, and then we're going to want to focus on them.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
All right, Scott Ritchie, you're up. Matt Stevens on deck. Go ahead, Scott.
Stick first with Ayo. Just you take us through that last play with 7 seconds to go. Was your goal to get to the basket? Was that what you had in mind?
Yeah, I knew we were fine. I was pretty confident coming out of the huddle. I knew the time and score. Every time and score is different. I knew we were down 1, and we watched film on them, And I studied them last night. You know, normally late games or when the game gets late, they normally go to a 1-2-2 press. So I knew when Coach called up a great play that he called up, I knew once Da'Monte set the screen on the 4-man, it was going to be, open lane for me to get to the rim. And, when you're down one, you never want to try to settle unless you have to. But I had enough time to, put pressure on the rim. So I lift weights for us, and I try to get there and try to get a good shot for our team, try to help us win the game.
And question for Da'Monte. It seems like you have maybe just a little more aggressive on the offensive end, willing to step up and take shots when you've got them. Has that been a shift for you at all this year, just to maybe look for your own shot when you've got it a little more?
The thing with me was just playing with more and more confidence. Every day I come in and put up shots before or after Ayo, and we just be in the gym all the time.
Okay, Matt Stevens, you're up. Joey Wagner on deck. Go ahead, Matt.
Question for Da'Monte is, how hard was it to guard their 4-man, especially in that second half? Because it seemed like they just threw the ball in, and it was just kind of old man basketball where he would just back you down. What was the key to kind of stopping that?
Just trying to stay solid and not get any fouls on him. Granted, him, he's a good player. But yeah, just trying to stay solid and get me ready for Big Ten play.
And from Ayo's perspective, just what was it like just trying to run around and try to guard Preston as much as you were and try to get what you were trying to get accomplished on the offensive end? That seemed like a pretty good double duty for you today.
Yeah, but this is what Coach Underwood prepares me for. Why we run so much in practice, why we practice so hard to be a two-way player. I always try to label myself as a two-way player. I think I defended when I was on him. I defended him well. Good players. He made some tough shots. Like he made one to put him up one late. I thought I defended him well. Made some pretty tough shots. But when you're at this level, sometimes some nights guys get it going. Guys, they're making shots. It's about just continuing, staying with it. But Coach put me on him. I'm a guard him and just try to make it tough for him. That's our motto. Try to make it tough.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, Joey, you're up. Joey Wagner, Jeremy on deck. Go ahead, Joey.
Hey, Ayo, you said you watched film on these guys last night. With 3 games in 3 days, where did you find time to watch film? Can you kind of give us a timeline of when you kind of diagnosed that was what they like to do late in game?
Yeah, I knew it wasn't going to be a cakewalk. I knew watching them. I always had my eye on them when they were on our schedule. I knew it wasn't going to be a cakewalk. I knew it was going to be, a little adversity this game. So I stayed up right after we watched film on them. On my coach staff, we have a nice app where it gives us a lot of valuable information on our opponents. And I just, studied their play, studied their tendencies, and try to prepare myself. I knew my body, 3 days and 3 games, I knew my body was going to be, beat up as it should be. But I didn't tell my mind that. I just wanted to come out here, play as hard as I can. I feel like that's all mental. Being tired at a certain point is all mental. We get to rest up today. But, I watched it last night after our film session, like late at night around 9:30.
And then Da'Monte, Ayo, mentioned he was confident in that game. You guys went on a 17-4 run there in the second half. Did you ever get a little nervous or worried? Did you share that same confidence that Ayo had?
Nah, I was never worried about us. When we lock in and do what we got to do, we're a great team. So we just had to lock in at that time and get it done.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, Jeremy, you're up. Derek Piper on deck. Go ahead, Jeremy.
Hey, Da'Monte, as a team captain, just how have you kind of looked at your role change as a senior with some of the guys that have left? And obviously you're getting a lot of work on the boards, you're getting a little bit more offense. How has your role kind of evolved heading into this year?
I've just been trying to talk even more, whether it's calling out their play or ball screen or whatever it is, just being more vocal. And when you're more vocal, it'll go by smoother.
And what does getting confidence in your shot look like? You're talking about being with Ayo, shooting a lot. What's that look like? What's that work you put in the offseason?
I mean, you come in each and every day, put up game shots, and just getting up reps of it.
In Iowa, just what are you seeing out of Da'Monte, especially being the knockdown shooter he's been here?
I actually got on them early in the first half. You know, they were blitzing my ball screens the whole night, and I put it in right in the shooter's pocket. He didn't shoot it. He hesitated. I'm like, come on, Monte, like you a great shooter. I see you putting the work in each and every day. Like, be ready to shoot. And then, you know, he told me, all right, you know, no bickering. Went on to the next play, and you see down the stretch, we believe in him, and he stepped up there and made it.
Thanks, guys.
Hey, Derek, you're up, and then Gavin's on deck. Go ahead, Derek.
Yeah, we spent a lot of time talking about your offense, but how important is being an impact defender the next step for you and your progression and what you have coming up and some of the matchups you'll draw coming up?
Yeah, just getting in better shape. Like I said, I think they got us with, you know, certain tendencies and certain plays sets they got that was successful for them. But I think overall our pick and roll defense was solid. It definitely can be better, you know, but watching this film is definitely going to help us for the next games. They run a lot of plays for either their four-man or Preston. He probes a lot. And, you know, he made some tough shots, made a lot of tough floaters, had a couple open looks early. But overall, you know, that's what I do. I try to pride myself in being a two-way defender, and I'm going to keep doing that, you know, throughout the whole season. Offense wins games, but defense wins championships. And we have to lock down some more, watch some more film, and just try to get better cohesively as a unit.
I don't think there was any question where that ball was going on the last possession, but do you have to say anything in the huddle, or what was conversations like in the huddle before you take that to the basket?
We have a lot of great basketball minds. I let them, you know, do that. Let them call up the plays. I trust in their decision making. Drew up a great play actually. Like I said, once Da'Monte set that screen, it's like they it was open. I had Kofi for a dumb down, but I just wanted to get to the rim, attack, put pressure on the rim, and I was successful there. Stepped up there, made the free throws, and we walked out with a W. Go put this game, watch some film in it, put it behind us, and then just focus for our next game.
Thanks, Al.
Okay, Gavin, you're up, and then Brandon on deck. Go ahead, Gavin.
Hey, this one's for Ayo. You had a stretch there in the second half where you repeatedly found Kofi pretty open. Were you noticing that Ohio was playing him a certain way, or were you trying to get him going? What were you seeing down the stretch there?
I mean, they were blitzing. They were blitzing all ball screens. So their 5-man was blitzing out, trying to get the ball out of my hand, but they were also tagging towards the throwback. So the throwback was my first read, but they were taking it away because they knew that was my first read. So they wanted me to throw it to the throwback right away, which would have forced basically our offense to get stagnant. And I recognized it, and then my Coach Chin, he recognized it also, and he told me that once I come off the ball screen, just freeze him a little bit, and then the guy who's supposed to be guarding Kofi, he was always running out to the high shake guy. And then Kofi was open 2 times in a row and made him change their defense up. So basically, they were just hard tagging, getting the ball out of my hand, and just try to force me to throw it right back to just stall the offense, make some time go off the shot clock.
Absolutely. And then for Da'Monte, obviously that was the biggest shot you hit to put you guys up front with 35 seconds left. Do you think you would have taken that shot a year ago? Because, you know, you've really found your rhythm now shooting the ball, but do you think you would have taken that a year ago?
I mean, I was wide open. Yeah, just step in and shoot it with confidence.
Thanks.
All right, and then we'll finish up with Brandon Simberg. Go ahead, Brandon.
Just one question for Ayo. Ayo, 16 turnovers today. What can you guys do to limit that next game?
We had a lot of ticky-tack turnovers. Just some that we definitely will fix. You know, Coach Underwood, he go yell at us enough. We go get that. We'll get that figured out. I'm not really worried about that. Definitely has some turnovers that we know we can get back, that we know we will want to get back. But to be a top 10 team, to beat a top 10 team, you definitely have to take care of the ball better. And that wasn't good. Negative assist turnover ratio as a team, not pretty good. So we got to just focus in some more. And just focus. Yeah, just focus, watch film, get better. That's what it's all about, long season.
All right, last question will come from, well, we got two more. Scott, or no, we'll finish up with the players with Scott Ritchie. Go ahead, Scott.
I guess this is for either one of you, but I guess one of the things with an empty arena, you can hear a lot more. Did you guys hear the Ohio bench chirping a little bit, especially during free throws?
Basketball, you don't get into all that. You know, they should be chirping. They playing a number 8 team in the country. Third game of the basketball season. So, you know, you got to just put yourself in them shoes. Last year when we were playing Michigan at home, when we were when they were the 5th ranked team in the country, or last year we played Wisconsin and we hadn't beat them in 300 and like 200 and in years, not 200 days, and haven't beat them in years. How pumped up we were, how fired up we were, and now, you know, we're the one being hunted. So the way their bench was, that's how it's supposed to be. And like I said, they're a great team. Wish them the best of luck, and they're gonna win a lot of games in the MAC.
Okay, thank you, everybody. That'll be it for the players. Brad will be here in just a moment.